it wasn't until I partnered up with them and they took a chance on me where I started thriving as an athlete.
In what ways is training for cycling more difficult?
Well, for starters, from skiing to cycling.
Time investment?
That, like, it's all, like, our races are, for cycling, like, can be 3 hours long or longer for the road race. For skiing, the biggest difference, though, is the body. So I'm using my muscles to propel myself with pulling, but for cycling, it's pushing. And so I have to retrain and re-strengthen all the muscles. And I was doing that this winter, where I was, in the morning, would get up at like 5 in the morning, would do an hour fasted ride, and then I would go do my ski workout, and then in the evening do an easier cool down on the bike. But it keeps me on my toes all the time because I'm starting over. And so that hunger and the determination to be better and to make those gains fast is bigger if I was just focusing on cycling.
You just got a delivery.
Yeah, I just got a delivery today of a new hand grip.
From Toyota.
From Toyota. Don't judge me on what could go wrong being a knife. But right before my road race, my hand grip, like, so they made one, and then it literally broke rolling up to the start line. And so, like, my team had to, like, duct tape it all together, and then I had this crazy nasty, like, cut on it. So I'm so excited to have this. I think this is the new one. Oh, sweet. This is it. Okay, see, like, this way, this is incredible. Like, so I made this for 2022, the Tokyo Games. And they, like, molded my hand, went through all this different stuff. And so this is for my right hand. And so this helps, like, mold it to my hand where I could let go and it still stays on.
Yeah.
And still, like, generate power.
How much of a difference does that make?
Day and night difference. These are the small things that make it possible. Like, it's to the outside is just a grip, but to me, this is like the biggest game changer. I can't wait to see the one for the left hand, where they're doing the brake and the shifters. I saw, like, I was just on the Zoom call with them, and they were showing, like, everything, all the layers and everything, and I'm so excited, because that is gonna be, watch out, China. That's my biggest competition.
How much of a miracle is it? Your mom was talking about this, that you can even cycle because of, like, your finger, right? Oh, yeah, well, I'm accident prone. Even if I had 2 real legs, I'm just very much accident prone. But last season, 2 seasons ago, I fell in a ski race, right before the season started, and I damaged this. My left hand was my strongest hand. My middle finger was my strongest finger because I don't have the normal anatomy on it. I break it. I don't really realize what damage I did to it, but I knew I had to finish that race. So because I skied on that and it dislocated and ripped off all the ligaments and everything and the tendons on it, because I finished it for 15 more minutes, I made a whole lot of damage. So it took me off the whole season. Now I, like, as if I needed another scar in my hand. Now I have another scar on my hand. But at least this one's a cool one. But it took 3 surgeries to repair it, and it still didn't work because of my anatomy's undoing the repair. The thing with my hands is they're curling in. And so, like, doctors when I was younger said, you're not gonna be able to have use of your hands probably until past 25. They'll curl in and you can't use your hands at all. And obviously I'm about to be 35. I don't like saying that still. That's a big number. And I still am using it, but it's causing a lot of damage. So the biggest transition from on the bike was I used to brake with that middle finger. And so I had to relearn how to hold a ski pole and how to hold a grip. My shifters and my brakes all have to be on one hand because it was my strongest hand. It makes it harder to build something, and I could not safely brake
at all. My hands make me feel so disabled sometimes. Not
Really?
my legs, my hands. And when I was at TRD, I tried out what like their like just what they literally did with the molding. And I was so excited because I was like, oh my God, I can break and I can hold it. And it's everything to be able to give 100%. When you're going down a hill, 40 plus miles an hour, and not having that confidence of where's the brake and can I brake, and pushing the shifters, I was so excited. And I know for me, that is going to be a game changer where my competitors don't have to worry about that at all. They're just getting in their bikes and it's all normal for them. But for me, I'm technically like a quad competing in a non-quad division. And the girls know that if they hit me hard enough, my hands will fall off. And so with Toyota's help at TRD, they customized the hand grips where in Tokyo they were doing that and my hands didn't fall off that time. And it made a huge difference because in Rio, when that was happening, I went from 4th and 5th place to 2 gold medals in Tokyo with the new grips. And I can't wait to see what this new grip for the brake will do.
What has the Toyota relationship meant to you?
Oh my gosh. It's so hard to put into words with the relationship, and having a company and a brand like Toyota supporting me and believing in me, especially because they truly understand the power of just freedom of movement and that it's a fundamental right for everyone. And they understand like the mobility, and they've enhanced mine so much on the bike, in the car, yeah, but mainly in my sport. It wasn't until I partnered up with them and they took a chance on me where I started thriving as an athlete and went from being that 3rd best, 2nd best to finally achieving my first gold medal. And it was because they helped me make that possible too. This bad boy, his name's Stanley.
Stanley?
Yeah, Stan the man. Although Aaron calls him Ron Swanson because of the wood. This is why I love the Sienna, because it here has like the AC 120 voltage, which you can run an espresso machine.
And how long did you have one here for?
I just took it out last night. I didn't know if you wanted it in.
That's funny.
It's something. But yeah, this is my hand control though. So I don't drive with my legs. One time I did, never again.
Why? What happened?
Well, because I have to like take it off and do this, and I can't feel how much I'm like gassing or if it's there or not.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so like this is the hand control, and this is what's so amazing is like having a partner like Toyota, because I pull forward for the brake and it goes to the gas pedal, or I pull back for the gas and then forward for the brake.
Ah.
And then this is called the suicide knob. This is allows me to like get full rotation.
Cool. Shall we?
So we shall. And here we go.
We're off.
In Sochi, I was sleeping out of my car.
Yeah.
And had nothing, none of it. And like my journey, like it's just so weird. It doesn't make sense. And so I'm so afraid to lose everything. I know what it's like, and my fear is to go back to living in the car, out of my car. And the car I had, I mean, I didn't have this really nice Sienna. It was like the sealant was missing, so when I was sleeping in Winter Park, Colorado out of it, I could feel the cold draft. And I was like, okay, well, this is great. You know, Ukraine prepared me for this moment right here. That's how I thought about it. And I'm just so afraid to go back to that where I don't have anything again.
Do you ever allow yourself to enjoy it?
No, I don't. I don't know how to. I'm trying so hard, and I think this is what's different about training for Paris and this whole journey is enjoying the process of it and not feeling like I have to meet everyone's expectations. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people think it's like my fear of not hitting it for them, but it's also I set a bar really high for myself because I don't want to let myself down and like fail myself either. And Aaron's like, you're gonna always have me, and I have a hard time making a home feel like my home, feeling like my partners believe enough in me. And honestly, Graham, like, I know my sports are very underrepresented. And so a part of me feels like I have to do 3 times as good. And so I feel like I have to do so much more than if I was like a track star or like a swimmer or gymnast. And I don't know, I just feel like, but it's hard because Aaron's like, well, you have to enjoy the moment you're in too. Don't just like always plan for the worst and live in that worst while you have this right now. But he's the one who's always like, he walks in, he's like, champ's here. So if I have a good race, and it just.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I just like would rather, like what I do all the time, everyone's like, oh, are you an athlete? Are you somebody at Disney? Aaron's like, you know you've made it when people at Disney World are coming up and saying, are you Oksana Masters? And I said, oh no. They're like, did you write a book? And I was like, no, that's not me. And Aaron's like, yes it is, because I walked off. I just don't like that stuff. And that's what he was like, why did you say no and lie to them? Like, you have no legs. There's not that many people like you that have 2 no legs. And it's not fair because we're the most identifiable couple. So, like, they're always going to remember Aaron and Oksana because the one has no legs and one's in a wheelchair. Where, like, we can't get away with that. But I don't know. It makes me uncomfortable. I'd rather be like, for me, I want to be one of those people that I want to make a difference in this world. I want to do something without
doing that
people
actively.
Knowing who you are behind closed doors. And just like someone like one day like, wow, this is so cool. Who did this? And they never know.
Right. But part of how you're making a difference is because of your story that you're sharing.
I think I'm still learning how to like embrace and see power in all parts of my story, not just like the sports side or the nice side. And that's why part of the reason I shared the not so pretty side and the raw things is because you cannot celebrate parts in your life, the I made it moments and like the top without also acknowledging those chapters in between that got you there too.